The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Our coverage this week takes us down to the fairgrounds for the Grade 2 Risen Star Stakes. War of Will was looking to repeat after that victory in the Lecomte Stakes. We'll see if he could duplicate that effort. Our local race of the week was a high-level optional claimer for Monday, President's Day. Mike Maker. Mike Maker had the favorite in that one. Indeed. We'll also have a look at the incomparable Winx as she was trying to win her 30th in a row. Did I say 30th in a row? And Imperial Hint was making his 2019 debut. We'll go down to Tampa for that. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones down on the beautiful first floor here at Parks Racing. Eclipse Award-winning friend Dick Girardi, and Dick, the coverage this week, we go to the Midwest and the fairgrounds.
We do. See some 3-year-old races, see if we can find any challengers for the Baffert pair on the West Coast, which haven't started yet, but are all the talk.
Now, Dick, you had an interesting point as we talked off the air about the West Coast and Baffert. The weather has been so miserable out there. Is that going to affect their training at all?
You would think it would be a little bit, right? Trainers they certainly don't work horses on those kind of tracks, but in California, it's been monsoon season in Southern California all winter long. So we'll find out.
Yeah. Well, Dick, we're going to go to the Midwest. Now, as I was doing my research to get ready for the show, when you go look at the winners of the Kentucky Derby, they almost never come from these Midwest tracks.
Unless they're Pennsylvania bred.
There you go.
Like Smarty Jones and Lily T, which we think are the last two going back to '92 to train in the Midwest on a regular basis.
And Lily T didn't even win his final prep at the Arkansas Derby. He got beat by Pine Bluff that day. But
it, by the way, was my pick in the Derby.
Yeah.
That was Arazi's year. Yeah. The only thing I knew about that was Arazi wasn't winning. The biggest fraud ever.
You couldn't get the winner, though.
Nah, so disappointing.
Absolutely.
You beat the 3-5 shot. You still
Well, Dick, let's get to our local race of the week here at Optional Claimer from President's Day Monday afternoon, mile and 70 yards, $25,000 claiming price or a second level allowance condition. Mike Maker, as I mentioned, has the favorite here. You almost never see Mike Maker. Number 4, California Night is 5-2 with Angel Rodriguez up. So go back through his past performances. Last year, he was in the Bluegrass Stakes. He was 106-1.
Yeah, and he ran like it. He was 10th, beaten 16 by good magic.
Coming off a big victory up in Aqueduct last time out. The second choice is number 7, Harpoon, who's an 8-year-old. 7-2, trained by Marcus Zaletta. Now, Marcus lost this horse for $20,000 and then claimed him right back.
Yeah. I mean, you always love those reclaims. That's telling you that the trainer and the owner think they know something about the horse. And you got to love 8-year-old sons of Tapit running for a quarter.
That continue to win money. Let's get our local race of the week. Here's the call. California Night past the half-mile pole, 48-1. Harpoon is just to the outside of California Night. Sanavi on the outside looks to move 3 wide, but California Night has opened a clear lead to the far turn. 3/8 to go. California Night gets away to a 2.5 length advantage. Harpoon is full out. Sanavi on the outside. Get the W was dropped well back. On the outside, King Koei yet to make any headway that it's forward, and Colonel One has been last throughout. They have to come and get California Night. California Night turns for home in front by 2. Harpoon on the outside begins to close in. Sanavi in with a chance on the far outside. California Night desperate with an 8 to go. Harpoon on the attack. Sanavi on the outside, but California Night is still there. 16 to go. California Night on the outside. It's Harpoon. It will be California Night. Well, speed kills, Dick, and California Night gets to the front. Looked like they might try to get past it, but they did not. He shrugs off those challenges, wins by a length and a quarter, $7.20 to win. Harpoon cashes another good check, finishing second. Number 2, Sanavi was third. Mike Maker, he is 1 for 1 this year here at Parks.
100% at Parks. You can't beat him. Don't even try.
Well, Dick, let's get to our first break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. We're going to talk to Greg DeMasi, part of the Pewter outfit. Stay with us. We'll be back with Greg after this.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner, low-mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Want to get out of the cold this winter? Well, Parks Racing is just the place to keep you warm and toasty. Parks Racing gives you plenty of horse racing action all winter long. Live racing 3 days a week, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yes, Sunday is a day of rest from the live action.
Catherine Sophia, very impressive.
We have simulcast racing every day from tracks all around the country. So put on your snow boots, grab your coat, and head on over to Parks Racing. It's warm and toasty.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time for this week's special feature segment. A great pleasure to welcome in for the first time here on Let's Go Racing. It's Greg DeMasi, the husband of Kate DeMasi, behind Pewter Stable. And Greg, thank you for joining us today. Dick wrote a terrific story this week on Let'sGoRacingParks.com about your horse Winchell, who was recently retired. Tell us about Winchell.
Well, kind of a neat story there. We purchased Winchell out of a sale in Kentucky with Robert Levy. Campaigned him here. He won stakes here. He's by Tappet, which is, a sire of sires, and got retired, and he's standing at stud here in PA, and he just had his first winner here last week.
Well, apart from what he accomplished on the racetrack, tell us a little bit about his personality. What's he like as a horse?
Oh, he's got a lot of personality. He's very typey, typical Tappet looking. He's just got a lot of energy and just got a lot of personality about him. He's a neat horse. He was a barn favorite when we were training here. Everybody loved him.
And Kate trains his first winner. You own him, you bred him, you have the stallion. Yep. Tell us about this horse you ran at the TV set here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Word on the Wing. He had run one time before this. He ran third. Needed the race, and we kind of knew he needed the race. And he ran last week, and he big number. I think he won by like 16 lengths, and he's got a future. As long as he stays sound, I think he's a legitimate 3-year-old. And he's a PA bred. There's PA bred stakes coming up, and I know, Greg, you told me you think he's a potential stakes horse. Why? What do you guys say? Well, I think his buyer out of that race was an 85, which is a very strong number for a 3-year-old. And he's a PA bred. I think he would be tough if he just got to duplicate that effort. He's got to go forward. And as long as he does that, I think, I would like our chances going forward in some of the 3-year-old races.
Now, Greg, as we said, you own the stallion. This is a homebred, Word on a Wing. It's almost like family. Tell us about that. Is that a little bit special feeling when you watch them perform like that? Yeah, especially a horse that you've had that much time with and you've literally raised them. And we've had an opportunity of training the stallion. It's a neat story. There's a lot of work and effort that goes into that. So it was very gratifying to see him run that well. And Word on the Wing's dam, Mary's Pegasus, did you all race her, and what was her race record like? She won about 3 races. She got injured as a 3-year-old. She's out of a mare called Mary Princess, who's a very good horse. It's, as I said, it's a homebred through and through. And by Fuzaichi Pegasus, so we got some serious blood around here. Tappets and Derby winners and all kind of good stuff. Now, Greg, before we let you go, you and Kate obviously have partnerships and are available. Tell the folks, if they're interested in getting involved with you guys, just exactly how they get in touch. Just reach out to me, or just go to our website. Our website is pewterstable.com, or just give me a holler on my phone, 609-330-1819. I'm going to tip my hand a little bit later in the show. A trainer named Kate DeMasi is going to be our trainer of the week, so we'll get to that in just a little bit. But Greg, thank you for joining us, and best of luck as you continue through 2019. Pleasure being here. Very nice. Well, let's get to our national coverage. Of course, it's brought to you by Chapman Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. And our national race of the week takes us to the fairgrounds for the Grade 2 Risen Star. Dick, it's the second leg. We had the Lecomte. We now go to the Risen Star, 1 mile and 1/16th, $400,000 purse. And, of course, the important Kentucky Derby points. And the 14, drawn the 14, was the favorite War of Will. Gets bet all the way down to even money for trainer Mark Casse. Dick, he made his first 4 starts on turf. Lost all 4 of those. Then they decided they'd put him on the dirt.
Good move, as it turned out. Again, you've seen by Warfront and out of Sadler's Wells, you're thinking turf, and it's weird, but they put him on dirt. Mark Casse did, and he's been perfect, and not only winning, but winning big and looking good doing it. And the good news, even with this post, Keith, he's got so much speed, he should be in the race anyway.
He ran big to win the LeCompte last time out. Dick, usually we talk about the second choice, but I kind of want to talk about the co-second choice here. It's number 9, Country House, who is 6-1 for trainer Billy Mott. Now, this horse opened up at 20-1.
Yes.
Was getting bet the whole way. Most of the time was about 5-1 as a clear second choice. And you'd look at his PPs and you're wondering, what's up here? It was, I mean, word had to be out. Something was going on with Country House.
Yeah, I mean, he got bet to 3-5 in his third start when he broke his maiden. Interestingly enough, he was 49-1 in his second start for Belmont when he almost won. Word wasn't out then. Then the word got out, and apparently the word has stayed out since then.
Son of Looking at Lucky. We'll see how he does. War of Will, even money from post 14. Here's the call from John Dooley.
And they're off in the 2019 Risen Star Stakes. And there's Chase the Ghost going out to the lead with Manny Wah, and Dumpf sped to the lead and angles over. War of Will is also right there, gets good position for Tyler Gaffalione is the LeCompte winner. War of Will and Gunnet ranging up on the outside now to hit the front as they go to the back of the track. And it's Gunnet took the lead from Dumpf and War of Will, well situated on the outside. Dumpf is now third, Manny Wah in fourth, and then comes Mr. Money in fifth, and they have 6 furlongs to go. Frolic Moore is out wide looking to gain. Chase the Ghost held up in behind of Sophomores. Then it's Owendale fanned wide with 5 furlongs to go. Plus Caparfait is next, joined by Henley's Joy, who's also racing out wide. Then comes Lemonite. The trailers are Country House, along with Hog Creek Hustle. And Royland is 14th and a long-looking last. The quarter was 23.71 seconds. Half mile for Gunnet in 47.36. With Ricardo Santana Jr., it's Gunnet who leads them around the far turn. 3 furlongs to go. Gunnet's the target for War of Will, who's making his move right now with inside 3 furlongs to go. Mr. Money is also close. Dumpf being ridden to gain. Manny Wah toward the inside, Henley's Joy. Hog Creek Hustle unwinding on the far outside as they come for home at the quarter pole, and it's War of Will who leads them into the fairground stretch. 3/4 in 1 minute 12.20 seconds. It's War of Will coming down toward the final furlong, staying on his Country House. Dumpf had a take up off of heels, charging on the outside, Hog Creek Hustle. They come inside the final 16th. It's War of Will, chased home by Country House, past the 16th. It's War of Will from Country House, then Royland. War of Will wows one of them again, won the Risen Star from Country House.
Well, Dick, you mentioned the early speed of War of Will, and it seemed like almost after the gate opened, he was in position already. He got himself a perfect spot into that first turn. Ends up going on to win by 2.5 lengths, pays $4 to win, and Country House did run big. He ran a good second just behind War of Will. And number 2, that would be Royland, who was a big long shot, finishes third. Dick, War of Will off the LeCompte, comes back to win the Risen Star. Tell us about it.
And he'll come back for the Louisiana Derby, see if he can sweep all the fairgrounds preps. The way this race was run did not really favor War of Will's style. The horses that were 1-3 early, just ahead of and just behind War of Will, finished 12th and 11th. The horses behind him came from way back, so he really ran against the tide of the race. But having said that, it's only a 92 buyer. The time of this race, we're going to see the Rachel Alexander a little bit for 3-year-old fillies. Was only 0.15 of a second faster than the Serengeti Express ran. So I'm not sure what it all means. Look, Mark Casse's terrific. He's going to win a Kentucky Derby at some point. But we were talking about this before the show. The reality is these Midwest horses do not win the Kentucky Derby. Really, you know what? The West Coast horses win, especially the ones trained by Bob Bamber. We, of course, are hoping a East Coast horse wins this year, trained by Butch Reed, but that's another story.
Dick, another prep race over the course of the holiday weekend. This came on Monday, President's Day. We go to Oaklawn Park. It's the Grade 3 Southwest, 1 mile and 1/16. Of course, we always love Oaklawn Park, Dick. Number 3, Cutting Humor is the 2-to-1 favorite of some guy named Chad Pletcher. And Dick, his biggest win to date and he's a favorite here in a grade 3 race. It's a maiden special weight.
Yeah, I was a little baffled by the fact that he was favored in this race, other than it's Pletcher and Johnny V, and people just get intimidated when they show up for obvious reasons because they win a lot.
Second choice on the inside, number 1, Gray Attempt, is 7-2 for trainer William Fires. After losing his debut, he's come back to win 3 in a row and goes a little bit longer each time.
Yeah, and I would have thought he would have been the favorite since he won the first of the 4 3-year-old races for Oakland Park horses, the Smarty Jones, speaking of the great horse, 15 years ago. He was at Oakland, cruising around the track.
Dick, you looking for an upset here?
I am. I'm looking for a huge upset.
Really?
I am.
Let's get the call in the Southwest.
They're off. Gray Attempt from his inside gate broke well, but Jersey Agenda is trying for the lead, and these two are going to go fast early. Jersey Agenda and Gray Attempt 1-2. Gray Attempt has to try to squeeze through from the inside, and then he did not take the turn very well, and that was no good for Jersey Agenda. Those two are trading punches literally in the first quarter of a mile. To the outside end, Olympic Runner. He races in a third. Bankit has made it to the inside, as has Long Range Toddy. And here's Long Range Toddy from the 10 box. He is third at the rail and 2 from dueling front runners, trading punches. Then comes a Sueño. Cutting Humor is moved to the center of the racetrack. He's 3.5 off the lead. 9th Street is in tight. Boulder is next. Then it's 3 back 2. 6 Shooter, Super Steed, and at the back of the pack now is Bankit as they head to the half-mile pole in the 54th Southwest. Gray Attempt continues to lead. It's only a neck to Jersey Agenda. Cutting Humor and Olympic Runner are moving together as a team. Olympic Runner is 3 wide. Cutting Humor going to be 4 wide all the way around the far turn. Meanwhile, on the center of the racetrack goes Super Steed, and he is now moving up 5 wide, 5 across the track, and Super Steed is the one that emerges. Super Steed at the quarter pole has made a very big move, and it lands him 3.5 lengths in front. 6 Shooter has run up outside of Cutting Humor, then comes Bankit and Long Range Toddy, but Super Steed comes to the final furlong, and he is 3 in front. Sueño and to the outside 6 Shooter, Super Steed to the 16th pole, 2.5 in front. Sueño trying to gun him down on the money. Super Steed, Sueño, Super Steed.
Well, Dick, you love when these long shots come circling up 5 wide on the far turn. He's a son of Super Saber. How about number 6, Super Steed? You gotta love that name, Super Steed. He's only 62 to 1 for Larry Jones.
Of all people at 62 to 1.
Unbelievable. Just comes on and wins and pays $126.60 to win. Dick, major boxcars in the Southwest.
Yeah, he ran against Gray Attempt in the Smarty Jones and the Sugar Bowl. Was beaten 7 lengths in each.
6 to 1 last time.
In each race. Gray Attempt runs horrible, runs 11. Super Steed rolls by the field. I got no answers other than it was an 87 buyer. And this race, put a line through it, they're all gone.
Well, Dick, we complete this segment by going to Australia.
Yes.
We love this.
And, of course we go to Australia.
Absolutely. And Dick Winks is back.
She's back.
Now, this is a Group 2 race. It's called the Apollo Stakes.
Yep.
She has been off 4 months. She's won 29 races in a row. Dick, can you put that 20? It's
insane. I mean, it's like ridiculous. It can't happen. It has happened. The last time we saw her was in the back in the fall, like you said, when she was winning the Cox Plate.
That's it, for the fourth time. Yep.
Yeah, it's just unreal, and we love to watch the great mare run.
Dick, she wears those blue colors. She comes from off the pace.
She's easy to find, and she's impossible to miss at the finish.
We're going the wrong way, but anyway, let's watch
the
magnificent Winks as she tries to win number 30 in a row.
Racing. Well, she was the last out of the gates, but boy, you could throw a handkerchief over them out of the barriers. Who's going to lead here? Tom Melbourne's pushing forward. Patrick Arena. Happy Clapper's very handy. Egg Tart out deep. Winks going between them. Then came Aloysia the rails. Brigham Rocks and Unforgotten is the last one. Tom Melbourne's obliged to go forward and take the lead. He draws a length in front now. If Happy Clapper will get some cover. Egg Tart goes to third, then Patrick Aaron fourth, the rails. Winks has one off the fence, so she can start a trouble from there. On the outside of Aloysia, then Unforgotten, and Brigham Rocks is the last one. 750 out. Tom Melbourne, the front runner. The 8-year-old Happy Clapper. He's inching closer, going to the 600 metres. He wants to try and pinch a bit of a march on the chap. Happy Clapper really turns it on to Tom Melbourne. Then Egg Tart, Patrick Aaron, and Winks is 4 lengths away as they come around the turn. Tom Melbourne the inside of Happy Clapper. Stride for stride. Egg Tart third. Winks is starting to chime into it. Bowman still sits pretty at the furlong. Happy Clapper. Clipperton goes for home. But here she comes now, Winks. She just sidles up on the outside. Takes the lead and draws away again. Age shall not weary the champ. Once again, she's haughty and imperious.
Well, this really was hardly ever in question. When she gets motor and Dick, she is as smooth as it gets. What terrific action she has. And she just comes rolling on the outside, and goes on to win this one easily. It's 30 in a row. And Dick, she took 4 months off. She just wins. She's coming back pretty quickly.
Yeah, these Aussies do not baby their horses. This was a race at 7-8. She'll be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Going for 31, and it's just fun to watch her because it's unheard of. It just doesn't. Winning streaks in horse racing are very hard to come by. Like 3 in a row is a big streak. Smarty Jones won 8 before he was finally beaten. Cigar won 16. 30? I mean, come on. It's crazy.
She's just beautiful. Just glides over the track. Dick, time to get to our next break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. Our trainer of the week. Oh, I gave it away.
Yeah, you did.
We'll be back with that after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time to meet our Turning for Home horse of the week. It's Naughty Delight. And here's Danielle Montgomery with more.
This week's Turning for Home horse of the week is a 10-year-old solid bay gelding named Naughty Delight. The announcers have a lot of fun with this horse, and so do the trainers at our Aiken, South Carolina farm, where he has been training and eventing since retiring from racing in April. It's easy to look past a plain bay until your eyes meet with Naughty Delight's. His huge, sweet eye will lure you in, and his little body is packed so full of personality and athleticism, he doesn't need any color or chrome. Whether he's in hand or under saddle, his ears are always pricked forward with an eager, what are we doing next sort of demeanor. Running cross country? Just point and shoot. He'll jump and gallop his little heart out. Standing for the farrier, alone and on cross ties, he'll quietly pick up his feet for you. He loves to have a job so much, you just call for him in the field and he'll make sure to make his way over to you, leaving his friends to go for a ride. This is Danielle Montgomery for the PTHA's Turning for Home.
And of course, our thanks to Danielle. The segment brought to you, of course, by the good folks at Turning for Home. Log on to their website at turningforhome.org. They also sponsor our Jockey and Trainer of the Weekend. Michael Sanchez continues to do great things here on Monday, President's Day. He had not 2, not 3. How about a 4-day win? 4 wins that day, so he's our Jockey of the Weekend. I mentioned Kate DeMasi. Peter Stable had a great weekend. Kate, you are our Trainer of the Week. Let's get to race recap now. Back to the fairgrounds for the Grade 2 Rachel Alexander. We're keeping our eye on those 3-year-old fillies, Dick.
Yes, we are.
Number 3, Serengeti Empress was 9-5 for trainer Tom Amos. Dick, last year as a 2-year-old, when she made the front, she was gone. She didn't make the front against Jaywalk, but she makes it here.
Yeah, she won 2 last year by 13 and 19. Yep. She's going to win this by 4.5. Never in doubt. Get a 91 speed figure, but yeah, when she couldn't make the front against Jaywalk, she was beaten by 17 lengths in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Field.
$5.80 to win on Serengeti Empress. Let's go to Laurel, Dick. It's the Grade 3 Barbara Fritchie. The fillies and mares at 7/8 for $250,000. Amazing horse here. Number 2, Late Night Powwow was 2-1. And Dick, literally, she almost never loses.
Yeah, how about coming into the race 9 for 10 with a second, the West Virginia bred, and boy, she's in a battle the whole way in this race. But some horses just know how to win, and Late Night Powwow is one of them. Make it 11 for 12 like that.
Unbelievable. $6 to win, and Dick finally down to Tampa Bay. Imperial Hint was making his 2019 debut. He was a huge favorite at 1-5. But Dick, he's not very interested today.
No, he just didn't run. I mean, the 5 loose on the lead. Killy Biggs, captain. The horse Imperial Hint would roll by at will. The real Imperial Hint. Something obviously was amiss. Louis Carbajal, the trainer, said afterward that the issue is a foot bruise. They still think they might be able to train him, get him to the Dubai Golden Shaheen, but let's hope it was that, not something else. It's interesting, the jockey on the winner he said he was watching Imperial Hint warm up, said didn't like what he saw, said, you know what, I might be able to beat this horse. And he did. So yeah, that was not Imperial Hint. I mean, that was the horse, but it wasn't the horse that we've seen before.
Well, Dick, Ion Racing, it's kind of a quiet weekend this week. We have the Grade 3 Hal's Hope. You remember old Hal's Hope?
I do.
Absolutely, and out on the West Coast on the turf, it's the Buena Vista, but that's the graded action for this weekend.
But it's coming. Get ready.
Yes.
It's getting serious. We had a 50-point race last week. The bigger point races in these 3-year-olds are coming up fast.
News and notes. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
Who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time for our final segment, News and Notes, brought to you by Pewter Stable. Log on to the website and get hooked up with pewterstable.com and Kate and Greg DeMasi, Bruce Casella, Dick Jordy, Keith Jones, and Dick. Next weekend, a big weekend for the locals. We do know Maximus Mischief now is going to go to the Fountain of Youth, and of course, Jaywalk about to make her seasonal debut. And this morning, Maximus worked out down at Gulfstream.
That was the plan. Obviously, we're taping ahead of time. Jose Ortiz was going to work him half a mile, and then he was going to run a week from today in the Fountain of Youth, which is shaping up as a very strong, the strongest so far of any of the 3-year-old prep races. And Jaywalk will make her debut on the same card at Gulfstream Park in the Devona Dale. And Keith, and looking around at these 3-year-old fillies around the country, I mean, we know the names. We showed you one today, Serengeti Empress, and we know about Bellafina. Jaywalk is the champ for a reason. She had an unreal 2018. We'll see how she comes back. John told me, John Service said she had a great work last week at Palmettos. So we think she's ready, and we'll see how ready in a week.
Well, Dick, when John is as good as it gets. When he points his circles a date on his calendar, which obviously Kentucky Oaks. He is so good at getting them to do their top effort when they need it.
That's what he did 3 years ago, and
we've seen him do it so many times. Well, that's going to put a wrap on this week's edition of Let's Go Racing. Come out and enjoy the action right here at Parks at Force 1255 Post. We'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.